Hey guys, and how's it going? A lot of people have been in the comments asking about what the car in the corner is and all about it. So I figured I'd turn the camera on real quick and give you a quick little walk around and a description of what it is. This car's 1967 MGB GT, and it is set up for what's called a Lemons race. There's Le Mans race, which is a high-end race, while on the other end of the scale is what's called a Lemons race. And a Lemons race is essentially a $500 car, not including safety gear, which is the cage and all that kind of stuff. But essentially, you're going to start with a $500 car, and you race it. It generally would have been 24-hour race around the clock on a Lemons race, but on a Le Mans race, it's done a little different. It's like over 3 days. It'll be like 8 hours one day, 9 hours the next day, and I guess it doesn't add up to 24. And the first day is kind of like a test and tune on a Friday. Anyway, we have a group of friends that are together building a car, and this is what we are building. And again, it's a 67 MGB GT that when we got it, had no drivetrain in it. It was set up, somebody was building it to do a Toyota engine in it. Did not come with the Toyota engine, had a cross member. It was all kind of cut up. So we found ourselves, some of the group is familiar and have MG stuff, so that's why we ended up going with this car. Actually, one of the guys actually picked up the car for a parts car for another one that he was building. It had no floors in it when we got it. We've been doing a bunch of modifications, so I'll take you for a little walk around. We put all these in. You can see all the metal work that was done, of course the cage. The crew that we have goes anywhere from 5'6" to 6'3", and with that you have to have your helmet, top of your helmet has to be 2 inches under the top of the bar, and it's a 2-inch bar, so the top of your helmet has to be level with the bottom of the bar. So we had to make some slight adjustments to be able to accomplish that. So you can see how the roof has been cut and lifted and scabbed in on the side. We still have the back to go fill in. It's not done. There's a bunch more work that needs to be done. The floor, we had to go cut into the floor so that the seat can go backward. We do have tracks on the seat, and then had to cut into the tunnel so that the seat can kind of come forward to reach the shortest person, and then go back far enough to reach the tallest person. So that is where we are. And we have everything pretty much, the gas tank is out of it right now because they're still doing welding on it, but it's pretty much a driving car as it sits. We have stuff off of it just to make it easier to work on. That's why there's no driver's door on it. We don't have the glass in. We got to do Lexan for the windows yet. The front windshield will be a regular glass windshield. We have to do fire suppression, and there's just like a punch here. I'll show you the punch list, the stuff that we're working on. There's all stuff that we still have to kind of address yet and add to that as it goes along. But compared to what we started with, it is like I said, way much further along. It had wooden wheels on it, let's put it that way. It didn't even have tires on it when we got it. So this is what we're doing. I shot a clip of us working on it, the crew -1, so I'll put that on there and I'll show you kind of what it's. Once a week we get together for a couple hours and we just kind of pick away at whatever it needs and go on. Let me go lift it up in the air. I'll show you the underneath of it. And let's go take a peek underneath. You can see everything's been done and restored, painted up and cleaned. So it's definitely getting it. Again, none of this was here. We originally paid $800 for the car, and then we sold the good hood that was on it for $300. So we actually are, as far as the car purchase price is, we are at that $500, and then of course, adding on from there. Again, safety stuff doesn't get included, but which is, most everything, like tires, that's safety, brakes, that's safety, roll cage, that's safety, fire suppression, that's safety, fuel system. So, you spend all the money on that stuff. I added this. We were having a little problem with motor mount setups, and so we decided to chain it down on each location. We kind of crank down on it. I'm going to do the same for the front for the motor because I'm not crazy about it. You can see with the floors that we put in, all the repairs, it was missing a cross member. We added that. The rear wasn't in it. It did come with it. I think this rear came with it. It is out of a different car. I think it's got a little bit taller gear ratio on it, but no brakes or anything in it. It had to do all the brake lines, had to do all the, the shocks and everything to get them all set up. somebody had cut a hole where the gas tank was because they're putting a different gas tank in it. We had to go fix that, make that panel, and close the gas cap. Because there's a lot of stuff for safety. You can either go with, you know, fuel cells and all, or you can use stock equipment, but it has to be in stock locations, and et cetera, et cetera. We have a problem with the rear brakes. We clip the rear circuit off, the pedal pumps up. But if we try using the rear brakes, the pedal almost goes to the floor, so we're still chasing that issue. Everything's new in there, but still having a problem. So it's getting there. We were trying to get together for this past fall. It was a race in New Hampshire. We were not able to get it done in time, and we were doing it at a different garage, and we had to go. We got kicked out of there for the winter time, so we brought it here for the winter, and we've been picking away again. Well, once a week we get together on it and get a little bit further done along, further down the line. So we are hoping to have it ready for this summer to go tool it around, but we're not so much under the gun anymore. We're still kind of picking away. You can see all the lines are still need to be addressed and tightened down and located. And you know, we had stuff like the throwout bearing fell apart inside the trans. We had to take it all back apart again. And when you do that, you got to take the engine and transmission out. It does not come out any other way. And the wheels you see on there, they're from somebody else's car. They have to go back. Those are just rollers for now. That's off his regular driver. We've got to get some nice sticky tires for it. We haven't done that yet. Again, that's safety. And here's the hood that was on it. Well, the hood that's going on it, rather. This is the crappy one. We took the good red hood that was on there. It was really clean, and sold that. And then we had this one that's going in its place. And, you know, it's going to get bumps and bruises in the car as it goes along anyway, because we are going to be racing it. So we're not too concerned about how the sheet metal looks on the outside. You can see like the electrical work that we're doing to it. Added a couple of fuse boxes. There's really not that many circuits in it. We're just doing one for the fuel pump, one for ignition. The one up there is the charging system coming back, and what's the other one? Starter, I think. So, oh, and the fan, electric fan. We can turn them on individually with little dip switches on the dash. We may put headlights in it. We do have brake lights set up on it, so they work. That's part of the mandatory items. It has to have a kill switch that you can turn from the inside the car and outside the car, and this one will be mounted right here, so that if you know there's an accident or something, you rolled over. Either you can turn it off with this key, or they can reach inside the car and turn it off. And just for safety, we added another one. There's another one on that back corner over there. Little battery cell folded in right there. You have to use a, I don't know, was it a gel battery, or you have to enclose a regular battery for it to be able to be used. And then, you know, gas cap either has to be enclosed, or you have to use the factory setup. We are going with a factory setup. That's where the cap is. And the tank is out of it right now because we're doing a bunch of welding on it. There's the other on-off switch for it that kills everything. We have, again, Lexan windows already made for the side. We got to get some for the back. Glass on it. All that stuff's sitting on a pallet over here. Bought a racing seat. You know, it's a cheap way of racing, but it's still expensive. There's the windows that are going in the back. There's the seat that we already bought for it. Because even with that, everybody has to buy a racing suit or rent a racing suit. Got to get a helmet that is approved. The racing suits are like fireproof. You could rent them. I want to say it's either $100 or $200 each for the weekend, and you got a total crew of 6 that we have, and 5 of us are partners, I think. We may make it so that we could register it and have it street legal. We got to get headlights on it and taillights yet. You can see where the cage has all been put in. You know, I had to cut into the doors to make it fit. So, and none of us have ever done this before neither. So we're all just kind of winging it. We may have stuff that gets approved, or we may get totally flagged for stuff not being, you know, proper. You have to close off the firewall. You can't have any openings from the firewall into the bay. So we had to weld up all the stuff inside here and close up all these cavities that normally would be open. So that's just kind of a quick overview of what the car was. There was no great conspiracy what the car was in the corner. He's not talking about it. No, it's just a project that we're working on the side, and again, we're picking away at it, and hopefully again this summer we get to the point where we're running the car, we pass tech, and we have some fun. More to it is also we have to come up with a theme. There's on top of building the car, there's also some fun of just kind of an eclectic, I don't know how you want to put it, goofiness of it as far as like themes of the car, themes of the crew, and you get judged on points with that also on top of the car. There's more to it. You can look it up if you want to. And the other part of it is you're trying to make a car, it's not exactly the fastest car going around the track, it's the one that can last the longest. That's why like Le Mans is a 24-hour race. It's not a, you know, an hour race or a drag race. It's how long your car can keep going around the track, and you switch drivers out every hour, hour and a half, and gas back up. Again, none of us have done it before yet, so it's going to be new for all of us, but we're hoping to have some fun and hopefully have it done this summer, and we'll be out there playing, and at that time I'll do some filming with it. But that's enough. I'm done talking. I'm going to go show you that little little powwow at night, what we're how we pick away at the car, and I got to get back onto working on my last project, which is a side-by-side back there. Get this car off the lift. All right, guys, with that, take care. Bigger. Certainly bigger. What's it?